On another note, we come into this RV park yesterday, and about 5 o'clock at night, she says, "Do you have a reservation?" I said, "No." And she says, "You're kidding, right?" And I said, "No." She says, "You're kidding." I said, "No, I do not have a reservation." She says, "Well, we're full." And so then she comes back and she says, "Okay, we have one site available." So here we are, we're about ready to leave, and no one's left this morning because I've been kind of paying close attention. So let's just from where I'm standing, let's take a look around. Definitely a good way to just get the Alaska off. Can you believe that we haven't washed the rig since Alaska?
Yahoo!
Hello! How are you?
Where to begin? Hi! Go that way. No, go that way. No, I need facts. I need facts on the figs. And then we have some other things going. So there's kind of a rainbow of fruits.
I think it's fair to say that Trish and I know nothing about figs.
Totally fair. That's a fair fact.
That's a fair fact.
Oh wow, that's gonna be good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Asked if I could take her. The answer was no. Actually, I said, "Can I steal her?"
But just to be clear, it's a very nice little park. Well, I mean, it's not a nice park, but it's a convenient park. They have lots of space, and it was a lovely check-in. And with the Good Sam rate, it was like 30 something. It was somewhere in the 30s, and it was full hookup with 50 amps. So I really couldn't be happier. I only talk about the reservation debacle because I think it's funny.
The car wash where we're going.
Oh, so excited to share with you about the Blue Beacon. So Trish and I are getting some work done this morning, and Scott is an insider, and I work with him, and he calls and says, "Hey, we're in Memphis. We just left the Blue Beacon, and $60, and he got his fifth wheel and his truck washed and waxed."
50 or 60?
$60.
Isn't that incredible?
So we are headed directly there. It says the height is 14 feet, width is 13 feet, truck wash entrance. This is so much fun. I know a lot of people would be intimidated. They don't like going to Love's and Pilots and stuff like that because you're in with all the truckers, but I'll tell you what, it's not that big of a deal. And this is our first Blue Beacon experience. And it's like going through the drive-thru. All right. I'm excited we can share this with you. So what do you think we do?
I'm sure the guys...
Blue Beacon.
Oh, they're waving you down.
They are? I go here or here? Oh, there?
Look at all these guys. That's great.
Here, go forward with it. Oh, I guess. How are you?
Hey.
Doing a truck and a trailer?
Yeah.
All right, once we pull you in, just pull your truck in slowly.
Okay. Right on. And there's like 6 guys here. And
I think I should be driving, or you get on the little things and then you can go out there and record.
okay, you drive.
We switched, so Mark can do the camera work and I can do the driving. This is the role I'm comfortable in. Super sketch to drive.
The card is full. My card is full. How can my card possibly be full?
Use your phone. Use our phone.
Oh, the audio is so bad on the phone.
You're using the audio here. You could be using your phone to get shots. Put your hand against the window. You'll feel like pressure.
All right.
You want me to back up?
Roll your window down.
You want me to go all the way forward?
I got it out.
Oh, the office and pay?
Oh, okay. You will.
Goes on and on, trying to see. That's just how I want it. Think I need me.
Amazing.
Isn't it though?
Although I just had a truck do a little number right next to me and I was like, I was just holding my breath.
I saw you backing up a little bit.
Yeah. I gave them a little bit of space to come around me. These guys are true professionals.
All right, so this was $67. We have Rain-X on the truck, Rain-X on the trailer.
Okay.
But you know how I've said before, like when you go into the Catskills
Yes.
and you have to know what they're saying in order to reply?
That's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good, man. Thank you. It's a lot like it is here because you really, it's just a different way of communicating, and I
Right.
don't know what the question is. So if you don't know the question is how many axles, you gotta say what a few times.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of like there's a certain language nomenclature that they're doing their thing and the truckers are coming in here, they know. It's like when you go up to the Catskill, they say first way or re-way. Well, this is the same thing here, right? So they're like, what do they say about the Rain-X? Rain-X on both?
Yeah.
What?
What?
But you know, now I know. Now I know the ors, and now I'm sharing, and the reason I'm sharing this with you is so that you know how it all goes.
Ain't it funny? It's always changing. Your intuition on where to run. And I left my heart behind. Is that what you want me to say? I think I need a miracle inside. Darkness now, black out all the light. Then know me, then it feel right. Baby, just go. Take me off your mind. This life's my own. Honey, I'll be fine. Oh, I'll be fine. Well, just go on. Take me off your mind, yeah. And this life's my own. Well, I'll be fine, yeah, I'll be fine.
We are staying on the river, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the Clinton Library, and you can see the airplanes coming in, and at night all the lights start flickering on the bridge. It's very cool. So we're waiting for our little light show. Right now it's just steady, but you can see the reflection on the water. It's really neat. Right out your window. It's a great view.
We've got a pretty busy day tomorrow. I'm thinking we're gonna pop on over to the Clinton Library tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've tried to do the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, missed it. Tried to do the Nixon Library in Boston, missed it.
Yes.
Now
Well, it was like the JFK in
we tried
New
to do
York
the JFK,
City.
missed that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so hard to do. We can walk there, it's so close.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. I'd like to go to the Apple store and get my phone fixed.
That would be.
We'd like to pop up to a Grand Design dealer up about 29 minutes north. They have a 351. We want to see if we still like it because we're not entirely sure.
Right.
Because they're a bit smaller, believe it or not. It's a massive rig, but the garage
Kitchen feels smaller.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure we're still good to go. And then my mom's flying in at 4 o'clock. My aunt's coming up from Arkadelphia. Probably go out to dinner. And then we're going to go into Arkadelphia, and it's family reunion time. We're going to go to Hot Springs. And then Aunt Sherry's got who is also an insider, has all sorts of stuff planned.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, so remember all the things we said we were going to do in Little Rock? None of it happened. We wasted our time looking for a rig that didn't exist, and we went to the grocery store, and we caught up on work.
That's
And that happens sometimes. We would have loved to have done an episode in Little Rock because it looked like a cool beautiful city.
Yeah, we just looked at the beautiful city.
But we didn't have time. So now we're headed into Arkadelphia, where we're gonna have the 3rd annual family reunion on my side of the family, on my mom's side of the family.
Yes.
So this is my mom's sister, Aunt Sherry.
Aunt Sherry.
And we first had this in Denton, Texas.
Yes.
And then the second one was in Mineola, Texas.
Mhm.
And now the 3rd one is in Arkadelphia. So we're gonna share more about this. And Trish and I have some thoughts about how your RV can be used to visit family and grandkids and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
Even
Well,
Caleb agrees.
It's the best.
Yes.
If your family's spread out.
Yeah.
And then we have a running joke that when our kids buy houses, we're gonna see how much they love us by the degrees of their driveway. You
That's
know,
right.
like this is like, Mom, I don't want you to visit, and this is like, please come and
Come
stay.
over. Come on over. All right. What's the ETA to the house?
3 minutes.
You sure this is it?
I hope so. This is what it said. Look, and there's all brand new flowers. I bet she did all this. We're gonna go knock on someone's door. We hope it's the reunion.
Oh, stay right there. You gotta come in the right way.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
Begin. Hi.
All right.
Hope we're in the right place.
Oh,
And then I
I
was like,
know.
there's all these beautiful little flowers everywhere. I bet this is it.
This is it.
Yes.
Ever take me again? When I said
Wow. Tell me about what you've done. All the open shelves is so bright. Look at this. When you can start decorating the inside of your pantry with a chandelier, now that is fun.
That was the chandelier that was here, and I painted it black and then added the ribbon.
Oh, that's so cool. Looking good. More toward me.
0.25. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
and I think of what's to come.
So, I guess this is a good opportunity to talk about when you're dry camping at someone's house, because normally I take this whole stack and I put them up underneath the tongue jack, but I want to save some, and the reason is I'm in Bill's yard, and when those stabilizers come down, the last thing I want is to have those stabilizers that are about this big going into his grass, and if it rains, getting it muddy and then leaving a bunch of imprints. So it's better to use these. In fact, I wouldn't even mind having a little bit bigger ones. In fact, I've been thinking about going on to Amazon and getting a bigger pad so that I can put that and then put this over it. So anyway, I'm saving a few of these for the stabilizers. And then, you know, this is one of those situations where you really want to have a lot of hose. And you know, I'm a hose hoarder, but we actually only have my favorite hose, the zero gravity, zero something hose. So I've got 50 feet plus 25 feet, so I got 75 feet to get to his house, and then I've got a bunch of extension cord. I would say advice for pulling into someone's yard is absolutely under no circumstances feel like you're in a hurry. Take your time, because most likely the homeowner is very nervous that you're going to be pulling around their yard. Think about it. If you're going to someone's house, they probably have an underground sprinkler system. They might have little trees that they planted about, but maybe they're not thinking about because they're excited to see you. So just take your time, build a plan before you get in the truck, talk to who you're with, your family, homeowner, and say, where do you want me? And then
You could say, so when does it start? And then come like about an hour and a half earlier than
yeah,
that?
get there early so you don't have an audience. But anyhow, so just some tips for staying at someone's place. You make some intros?
I want to hear your own intros. I want to hear like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been on the channel before. Why don't you say hello again?
Hi.
hi.
And I am your first cousin, but I'm your favorite cousin. Right?
I love that.
Well, speaking of cousins, my other cousin, Richie, not clearly my favorite cousin.
No, I'm
Missy made this awkward.
How was your ride?
Great.
Good.
So that you can reroute all that and put them together like this, and then you can make it nice and even. And it's for the price of a zip tie.
It's a 49 Chevy on a 86 Caprice chassis.
Oh, you did?
Okay, well, welcome to the breakfast buffet. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Your mom and your aunt were in charge. So let's dig in.
And sell that to all the surrounding all that infrastructure.
So we wanted to share with you in this video some ideas on visiting family with your RV, using your RV to create a family reunion.
Oh, family reunions are fun.
I think they are fun.
Yeah.
When we first started RVing season 1, we spent Thanksgiving with Trisha's dad in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Yes.
And that was the first time we had spent Thanksgiving in Texas.
Yes.
And I think we started to realize how
Wait a minute. Yeah.
how nice it is to have an RV, because you can go visit family and you don't even have to impose like we impose on your dad. But in general, you can just park here. Like right now, our RV is on the side of the house. We had all this family come in to Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and we didn't have to go occupy a bathroom, a bedroom. We had all of our own stuff, our own coffee, our own everything. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, any tips?
Scheduling, if you're bringing together over 20 people, is pretty much essential. So if someone can take the lead and not create a rigid agenda, but say, hey, we're gonna have dinner at this time. If there's a family picture, it's going to be at this time, and breakfast starts at this time. That way you're not making breakfast all day long.
My mom and Aunt Sherry really spearheaded this reunion, and Sherry, because it's her home, did a lot of the work.
Yes.
And of course, my mom's gonna get mad at me for saying that, because Sherry did
A lot of the work.
A lot of the work. My mom did a lot of work too.
They both did a lot of work.
But let me just share with you a couple ideas. So if you're planning on doing this, some things that I think they both did really well.
Okay.
Okay. One is that there was an agenda. So like breakfast was at 9 a.m. And there was breakfast over here at 9 a.m. And then the next day, Kimmy, who is my cousin that lives across the street, she did breakfast the following day. So that was at 9.
Yeah.
Dinner was at a certain time. We were going to do a family picture at 5:30. So on Saturday, people could go out on a hike and they could kind of do what they want to do, or they can just talk. But at 5:30 there was going to be the picture, so expectations were set. Like
yes.
that. And then the dinner table had a whole bunch of pictures of the family going way back when. So if you're doing a reunion, it'd be fun to have everybody maybe bring all their pictures. But what they did is a bit of an icebreaker, so to speak, is that during dinner everyone talked about the picture that was in front of them.
Maybe you had to go into a magic shop, and he had this magic coffee, and it didn't work, and he spilled coffee all over me.
Well, let me explain.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah.
And then it helped draw the family relationships, like, oh, that's so cool. And then, our kids got to see how long those pictures go back.
Yes.
Oh, and when you get to see the clothes from like the 80s and things, you're like, this is awesome. And then the other thing that I loved about this family reunion is people got to share what they're good at. Like when we went over to Brooke and Charlie's, they did the crawdad, what do you call that?
Yes,
I'm
that's
doing
right.
the crawdad dip right
That's
now.
right. We went to Brooke and Charlie's house, and they steamed crawdads.
Oh yeah, so we're walking in, there's country music playing, the crawdads are being steamed, pork is being cut on a tailgate. Like, it was so much fun. We got there and we were like, this is a blast.
Yeah.
But then they got to show off their new home and everything that they'd worked so hard on. Kimmy and Darren were able to show off their house and have breakfast for us.
And their fig farm, their blue fig farm.
Blue fig farm.
Until we moved here, I wouldn't know a fig outside of a Newton. I didn't even know what they looked like.
What are we on, 3 acres?
Yeah.
And you bought this property not really even knowing that there were fig trees here.
Right. We didn't know much about the figs. The previous owner, they were a family. They had 6 kids that they homeschooled, and the kids really helped take care of the property. This entire section here when we moved in was garden. This entire section on this side was garden, and we especially like the fig trees because you don't have to do anything with them. You don't have to spray them. They're just bulletproof. So we like that. It's low maintenance.
Yeah. Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung. This is so exciting. Look at this, the beginning. It's gorgeous. Look at those leaves. One of my favorite fig applications, if you will, is flatbread pizza with fig and goat cheese and arugula. And you can even do like some roasted corn and then you cut it off and you put it in the middle and it's almost like a flatbread salad. But those fig and goat cheese together, gorgeous.
Just imagine like the best chicken egg.
Yeah.
So they're like chicken eggs, just more so. They're really good.
So I was wondering what the ducks provide for the farm, because you know everybody has to do their part around the farm. And we were just discussing that they give eggs, but they're not smaller than chicken eggs, they're larger than chicken eggs, and they're more rich. That sounds like a chef's dream.
Yeah. In France, that's kind of a secret ingredient. Is a lot of times they use duck eggs in baking.
Wow, okay. So you know those bushes right down there? Those are going to be blueberries. How fun is that? Come and pick blueberries. That's why there's the blue in the blue fig farm, because of the blueberries. So we need to do more of that this summer as we make our way through the heartland, go on Harvest Host, and find places where we can go and leave our rig and go and see the blueberries or whatever's in season, because there's so much to learn on these farms. All the organic farming that they're doing here, making their own soil and compost, it's like mind-boggling how cool it is and the scientific method behind it. We got a lot to learn.
Better get started.
Yeah.
So, see, Dad doesn't want you to know this, but if you look closely to the wedding photo, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Well, last night was our big family reunion dinner. I, of course, have no footage of it because I was enjoying dinner and we were playing games and having all sorts of fun, but it would have been good to have the camera just to share. But now Richie and Chris are headed back to Texas. Well, last year you got the Summer in November shirt because I remember seeing pictures of you in the Summer in November shirt riding.
Yes.
You got it on?
I actually have this, I have it on here.
Oh, yes, you do.
Got it on.
So this summer, where are you going? What's the big trip this summer?
The big trip this summer is Kalispell, Montana, Glacier National Park.
With no plans? You're just going to head that direction?
We have just, head that direction.
How many miles is that whole thing from Texas out there?
From Denton, Texas to back home is over 5,600 miles.
Man, that's pretty cool. And how many miles do you think you've ridden all together? Because I've seen pictures of you touring on bikes from 88.
Yes, from 1988. We've been riding forever. So
yeah.
Since even before we were married, that first picture you're talking about, it was before we were married. I don't know, I've probably done 100,000 miles, maybe better.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know there's so many people that watch the channel, and you're looking at a toy hauler, so you can put those bikes in the back. And
bike's right there.
Yes. And what do you ride, a Harley?
I have an 09 Road Glide with a Bush Tech trailer.